closing up shop on a 4-game homestand against one of just 4 undefeated squads left in the nation. Johnny's after missing the last couple of games. To the face-off X, and we are underway. Fairfield controlling the first possession, and our first look at this Stags attack. They can score in a hurry, and the first look on Cage, no good. Rob Moore dodging towards the middle. Nothing doing, and so far the St. John's defense doing a nice job here with about 30 on the shot clock for Fairfield.
You know, and St. John's defense played really well in that first half against Jacksonville. Only stumbled in the third quarter, but rallied in the fourth. 3 really solid quarters of defense just a couple of days ago.
First goal of the game belongs to the Stags. It's Will Consoley from way downtown, a bouncer to put the Stags on the board from Devin Lamprin. Nice job to get the right leg on it by Matt Nelson, but number 5 in black and red, Devin Lamprin, has had the ball in his stick plenty in the early going here as the Stags swing it all the way around and a fresh shot clock for them to work with. Good find down low, but again, that St. John's defense like a closed fist, just collapsing on the ball. Lamprin charging towards Cage, and he finds Twine. The Stags on the board again, an early 2-0.
And as we highlighted, 4 goals in his first ever college game back on February 7th when Fairfield opened the season against Lehigh. He had 4 against Providence and already 1 here today.
Nifty spin move, hit the pipe, and Nelson scoops it up to make sure no further damage was shot. That time from Lamprin. Ricocheted back out, might have caught some pipe.
And for Fairfield, a team 5-0, 17th in the nation, you would think that they could get a couple of games where they put up high goal digits, but really haven't this season. That 15-goal outburst against Providence, their biggest of the season so far.
Well, they've got another here, this time from Luke Fisher, who goes low to high. It is all Stags early in Queens. Remaining here in quarter number 1. Lamprin off the reset. He has been active early and proving to be every bit of what we thought he would as far as touching on him off the jump of the broadcast. Strong save there. Campbell to the middle. Had it whacked out of play. It'll stay with the Red Storm. But that's a motif here early, Kevin. Red Storm just struggling to find that high-quality look. They're looking for one here, and again, to no avail. The scoreboard.
I thought the ball movement was better that time for St. John's on the possession. Just not closest to the end line there, and it gives it to Fairfield, and here they come in transition.
Fairfield transition game has looked strong early. Will it be more of the same? Devin Lamprin works it all the way around the horn. Jason LeMay Jr. And Fairfield has another. LeMay Jr. turning on the Jets. And he puts it past Nelson for the 4th Stags goal of the evening. Ball available. No dice on the cause. Turnover for the Red Storm, though, because another ground ball was scooped up by the Stags. Fairfield outshooting St. John's right now by 4, 11-7. 9 of those 11 on goal. There's another. Will Consoli yet again, his second of this first quarter. And Fairfield. So the Red Storm backs against the wall here. Can they ignite something on the attacking end? It's Coban. Some tic-tac-toe passing towards the middle. Still available. Scooped up by Ormond. He emerges from the scrum. And it's buried. Red Storm on the board. And it comes courtesy of Brian Kelly. Much-needed goal for St. John's.
We'll see if that can jumpstart.
Points, 29 goals. He can make it goal number 14 on the campaign for him. That is a team high. And with that goal, Kelly moving into sole possession of 4th place on the all-time St. John's points list. Continuing to pick up the accolades But I'm sure if it was up to him, it wouldn't come under these circumstances. His squad down 5-1, make it 6-1. Devin Lamprin, St. John's punches, and Fairfield punches out to 5 saves. Akupski charging towards cage, and a nice job on the slide. Second attempt, too high, but a diving attempt by Fairfield. Nice job by Jake Gilbert by the Stags. Luke Fisher, the first one there. Fisher tries to beat his defender to the spot. Some laundry on the field as a flag flies. Akupski going one-on-one with his man. Under 10 on the timer. Stags got to hurry. Low-to-low shot is buried home. It's Drew Lindsay. They're trying to spike it in that time. But again, well-positioned. Fairfield squad closest to it, so they will retain. Plenty of physicality defensively there. Stags are still on it, though. It's Rob Moore shuffling to his right. Moore around the cage. Open teammate in the middle, wide right. Not a bad look whatsoever by Devin. Would be massive for the Red Storm here to get one more, cut it back to 5, and pick up a little bit of momentum and put what has been a dreadful first quarter behind them. Danny Koch from the far alley, looking for an open teammate. Swinging around for Kelly, a little spinorama behind cage. Kelly trying to make something happen. Ormond lets it fly, wide lefts. Stop in the attacking end with Ormond. St. John's happy to have their freshman from Waxhaw, North Carolina back after missing the past couple of games. You wonder if Ormond was available for a couple of those overtime losses. Rotated over to the far side, in the middle. Ormond finds an open teammate, shot wide left. It was Novak that time. Right place, just couldn't quite execute how he wanted to.
Yeah, it looked like he got handcuffed and threw a couple of bodies in front. Couldn't get enough power behind that shot like he would have wanted.
From the middle, lasered in. Jason Cardenas from the middle, and St. John's grabs one right back. It's 8-2 Fairfield.
Cardenas was
bouncer no good from Delane. Did hit the pipe, so we will get a shot clock reset.
kind of like what I said, all the bounces going in Fairfield's way. I mean, a shot that St. John's able to get lucky on, but Fairfield with it right back off the pipe, and then they bury one. Fairfield's able to bury one and add their lead back up to 7.
So the Stags picked only to finish third out of the 8 teams in the CAA. Perhaps a sense of bulletin board material, motivation, if you will. At the same token, though, Fairfield coming off a loss in the semis last year, and right off the face-off, another tally here. Stags hit double digits, and that might have been the quickest goal they've had yet. Allotted at 3 of 8 in the CAA. Stags lost in the CAA semis to number 19 Delaware in overtime last year. So there is a sense of unfinished business on this Stags roster as another miscommunication between the Red Storm. They turn the sides. Fairfield takes possession right back. Luka Kupski looking for an open teammate and locates one in Matt Rice. Long pole trying his luck there from the right alley. Loose ball pursuit tracked down and kept alive just in front of that end line. Stags scoop it up. It's Lamprin, who's been all over the place so far, had it pried loose. And the ball winds up right into putting the ball in the back of the cage. Fairfield is doing a nice job getting extra opportunities, extra possessions, because they're closest to it when it goes out of play. LeMay Jr. darting towards net. Swung all the way around this time for Lamprin. Luke Fisher finds an open teammate, bringing it out in front, and a top shelf score. Keegan Lynch, throw that one on the highlight reel. And the Stags push now becomes the 8th different goal scorer for the Stags in this first half alone. Kevin, Fairfield has had games this year where 8 goals was enough to win the contest. They've got 11 already here. We haven't even hit the halftime mark. Really impressive stuff.
Yeah, it has been. Eight still might be enough to win this game, but the fact that they're able to put 11 up with 6 minutes to go, now make it 12 with 5.5 to go, I don't know if you're going to see a better offensive performance from Fairfield this season.
Seconds apart from those Keegan Lynch goals. Again, back to the face-off X, where it has been Ethan Wygand against Daniel Davis for much of this first half. And right now, Fairfield is up 10-4 in that department, and you can go ahead and make it 11-4. Off the rip, Fairfield looking for another. They have another. Some top-shelf magic from Jake Gilbert. And it to Gilbert, and they do. Not the best angle. Finds an open teammate off the pipe. What a find from Gilbert to thread the needle to get it to Keegan Lynch, who just couldn't put the icing on the cake.
Yeah, that was an incredible pass going across the crease. But again, for Fairfield, ball bounces back to them, and they'll have another crack at it.
To the middle. That's in. It's another for the Stags. Jason won.
For St. John's, given the score and the time, there's no need to rush right now. You have the full shot clock at your possession if you would like it. But no need to force a rush shot here. Try to run something good and get a clean look at goal.
And I'm sure Justin Terry would love nothing more than that. Make this a 14-3 game as opposed to 14-2 going into break. Double team draped all over him, but it doesn't matter. Impressive score there from Brian. No sense of urgency here from the Stags. With 6 to go, we'll see if they try one more look on Cage here. Shuffling around, it's Andrew Katzen. And that is how our first half draws to a close. How about the first half for the Stags? But their first try here, no dice. Flag on the field. We'll see what the official ruling is there. A little too much physicality from a Stag standpoint after the turnover. Looks like they'll hit Radausic. Shot deflected. Ormond down low. He fires it in. Ryan Ormond on the doorstep off of a very nice fire. Macklin Kaiser out there defending as well. Consoli surveying. Open teammate is Gilbert. Had his fingerprints all over the first half. Inaccurate shot from Lamprin there. The freshman who's had it. Okupski locates a cutter in Luke Fisher. Has his man out on an island. Okupski gets it right back. Working one-on-one. Slide comes. Shuffles it over to an open teammate in Lamprin. Keegan Lynch lets it fly, and Keegan Lynch has another. That's the hat trick for number 21, and the Fairfield lead. Back really picked one quarter to dominate in. It was evident right from the jump. Outscored St. John's 7-1 in the first, 7-2 in the second, and now we're deadlocked at 1 here in the third so far. St. John's on the attacking end tried to get it to Brian Kelly down low. Far. And Fairfield back on it. Into the transition game. Ball popped out of the stick. It was Shane Elliott who was darting towards Cage. Just went faster than he could keep control of the ball. Elliott picks it up again. Failed clear for the Red Storm. And Fairfield capitalizes. Who else but Jake Gilbert? He has been everywhere tonight.
That's been the story of this game. So
there is that sense of been there, done that. Campbell couldn't find Twine, and with 6:30 to go, St. John's will keep 33 on the shot clock. And you can see that, Kevin, in Fairfield's play today. It's evident this is a group that checks the box from a talent standpoint. They bring back plenty of veteran leaders, and they've got the makings of a group that is capable of being towards the top of the conference as St. John's tacks on one more. Comes that time from Bobby Seal in the middle of, I don't know if experimentation is the right word, but is there a level of, okay, look, we know it's early, we know this was a game where we were overmatched, but at the same time, we're continuing to tinker. We're continuing to kind of see what we have so that by the time that Marquette game does roll around at the end of the month, you have a better idea of what you're working with.
No, 100%.
As Fairfield grabs another yet again, right on cue. Jake Gilbert, who else?
And just finishing up that point about St. John's and move
with making a swap between the pipes. All about those real game reps, and why not the luxury of a 12-goal lead? Get your backup netminder in there, keep them fresh, even in a 12-goal game. To see this time, much more meaningful perhaps than what you're working with at practice in a day-in, day-out basis.
No, absolutely, and I think you're going to see probably a little bit more of that from Fairfield coming down the stretch here.
Well, St. John's is taking advantage of the fact that there is indeed a backup.
He's going to give it 100% now that he's out there.
And heck, when you're plus 11, you don't necessarily have to be on the same page. It's
Exactly.
a luxury you've given yourself. More flags on the field.
Yeah, two separate penalties, I think, here. One initially, or two.
On your side as this third quarter is waning. You've got to be quick. You've got to have a level of pace that right now on the attacking end just has not been evident.
Yeah, everything's been out of sync for St. John since the opening faceoff in this game, but I do get your point. Down by 11, you want to get yourself back in it. You got to score, and you got to score quickly. Probably 20 to 15 seconds left on the shot clock is when they'll try to pick up their offense and get any shot towards goal that they could possibly find.
Loaded question I'll pose for you here in a sec after we get a look at the shot wide right. It came that time from Jack. Averaged about 46. So they had already crossed that threshold before we even got to the fourth quarter. And many of those looks, again, high-quality looks, 34 of the 55, have been on goal. Flag on the field as St. John's trying to make something happen down low. It was Ormond with his back to goal. Or beg your pardon, that was Kelly, who took the worst of it. And a sprawling effort to see who's closest to it. $10:15 to go here in this fourth quarter, a game that has been dominated by the Stags right from the rip. A 7-1 lead after quarter number one. Fairfield has not looked back since. Little tic-tac-toe and bottom left corner. Drew Wasserman. Looks. 8:20 to go. Fairfield in control and content to just zip it around the midfield here. With 40 on the shot clock, no sense of urgency, and why would there be? With the cushion they have built up for themselves.
Yeah, very similar to what we saw a few moments ago where they took it down to about 20, and that's when they really started to try to get a shot on goal. They'll go a little bit quicker this time.
So another for the Stags, making number 19. With overtime losses at Hofstra, Jacksonville, and now today, at least from a performance standpoint, probably the worst of the four. Now, granted, you're playing a ranked team in Fairfield as a strong save between the pipes that time around for the Red Storm. And there, and tracked down yet again by the Stags. It's Finn Doherty on it. And they work it all the way back towards midfield in the stick of Jeremiah Wade. Wade lets it rip. Why not? You've got a plus 11 lead at this point that year. And now they will have that hot start within reaching distance if they beat Bryant this weekend. Or beg your pardon. If they beat UMass Lowell this weekend, they will indeed match that 7.
That this was their first road game since their second game of the season when they made the short trip over to Brown. So everything has been a little bit coming at home as There's an exclamation point put on this one by the Stags.
Trey Ordway tacks on one more to hit 20. And the Fairfield bench is love-proof to 6-0 on the season with a convincing 20-8 victory over St. John's. Well, Kevin, we've been talking about it all night right from the jump. This was Fairfield's game to lose.
It really was. They showed it with 14 goals in the first half and never.
That'll do it for us with the win. Fairfield 6-0, 2-0 on the road. They send the Johnnies to 2-4 and 1-3 here at Belson Stadium. A big thanks to all of you at home for tuning in. For our entire production crew here at St. John's University, producer Mike